Ever since I've beaten LA Noire on stream for you guys, I just know for a fact I'm obviously just the best detective of all time. Like, come on, really? Like, who's done a better job than me? I don't think so. I mean, after all, we even had Lasagna Nojo helping us out. Well, granted, there was like 10 forms of Nojo, even an evil Nojo at one point, but still, we had an awesome detective thing going on in LA Noire. But then later on, as time went on, I ended up playing through Detective Pikachu. Granted, I'm not done playing Detective Pikachu Returns, but I am playing Detective Pikachu Returns, and it sprung an interesting question in my mind, and that was, what if I was a detective and I needed to build a Pokemon team composing of 6 Pokemon? What Pokemon would I choose to help me solve my cases and help me take down the criminals? Well, I'm going to answer that today, and I hope that you guys can also do the same, where you can think about what Pokemon you would have that would help you, as a detective, take down the criminals. Now, there is a bit of a scenario here. Well, just keep it in mind when you're picking your team. This is going to be more in the style of LA Noire as opposed to Detective Pikachu, where in Detective Pikachu, it's more innocent. It's more like an item kind of gets stolen, and that seems to be about it for the most part, right? And then you just kind of like cheerfully, playfully find your way into these different situations, and then you kind of get out of it, and then bada boom, you find out that either a person or a Pokemon or a person using a Pokemon decided to take something. Like that's what it seems like for the most part, right? It's something gone missing, and then you figure out what it is. But that is not the scenario that we are going to be going with. We're not going to be doing the Detective Pikachu style of things. Instead, we're going to be doing more of the LA Noire style of things. So we're going to figure out who's destroying buildings, perhaps a murder, right? Maybe there is a criminal, like say like Team Rocket on the loose, and they're doing crazy things on the streets, causing up a big commotion. How would we take them down when they're trying to escape or something, right? That is going to be more the scenario. So keep in mind, while you're picking your 6 Pokemon, think more an LA Noire type style. So with that said, this would be my 6 Pokemon of choice when being a detective with Pokemon. Pulling out the list here, I mean, literally have a list. The first Pokemon I would choose, and I think it's going to be a surprising one, is Grimer. So I think Grimer would actually be pretty good to use, in my opinion, because it's like a liquid, more or less, right? So it can really just squeeze into anything you want it to, and then it can reform on the other side, and it will be fine, right? So Grimer can, like, for example, if there's a crack in a wall or something like that, it can kind of squeeze in and see what's going on the other side. If there is a door that's locked and we kind of need to get through, sneakily, of course, Grimer can more than likely fit through the cracks that are around the door, maybe even the keyhole itself, perhaps, and well, open it up from the other side. I think that'd be very phenomenal to have. And then, of course, if we needed a Pokemon to go through the vents, I think Grimer can kind of fit better. It's a liquid, so maybe you won't have footsteps, so kind of just squeeze through and shouldn't have any issues, right? So I think Grimer, in my opinion, would just be phenomenal, mainly for sneaking around. If I'm sneaking around and I need a Pokemon with me that can kind of go through things and be really sneaky and stealthy with me, I just think Grimer would be a good choice for that. And then, of course, there's always a possibility that, what if we have to go into the sewers? I think, again, Grimer kind of fits the case. I would assume and hope that my Grimer would actually be really good at navigating through the sewers. I mean, it's kind of its home territory, if you will, with it being like the garbage-consuming bacteria Pokemon thing. So, I don't know. That's just what I think. I think Grimer would be, again, phenomenal just for more like stealthy mission type stuff where it can just kind of help me out in certain scenarios. I don't know if I'll have it out the entire time. Maybe I will, but it'll definitely help me out with being stealthy and going through certain situations. Choosing the second Pokemon was actually quite challenging. I needed a Pokemon who can destroy objects and debris that is in the way, such as walls, boulders, whatever the heck can be in front of us that is destroyable, right? I needed something that can fill that, but also I want a Pokemon that's really good at fighting. A certain Pokemon that I can just kind of instantly go to pull out, and if I were to battle like Team Rocket or something like that, this Pokemon can do that. It can kind of just take out their whole team, and I probably won't even need to ever switch into another Pokemon. Granted, all the Pokemon I'm choosing will be used in a fight perhaps at some point, but this one Pokemon, what can it be? Who would it be to destroy an entire team, but also be able to destroy boulders and rocks and things like that, right? Like things that are in the way, walls, doors, etc. Well, with a lot of thought and some consideration, and probably not even a surprise to a lot of people, it is going to be Toxicroak. Toxicroak, I believe, just kind of looking at it as a Pokemon and all this other stuff, I think it can easily, break down walls and doors and boulders and etc., right? I believe that it fits that criteria. But also being a Pokemon that's good at fighting has been more of an experience. If you guys remember, we've used Toxicroak in many of the Pokemon games. I think we used it in Diamond and Pearl. It could be wrong about that one. But we definitely used it in Legends Arceus and in, I believe it was Scarlet and Violet. So definitely in those we've used it, and I believe at some point we're going to use it again in Sword and Shield. But it has definitely been that one Pokemon, especially in Legends Arceus, that has carried the team whenever there was a fight going on, and I really just needed a Pokemon to like do big damage or kind of help make me make a comeback or anything like that. Toxicroak has always been that Pokemon. So I firmly believe that if Toxicroak has been able to help out so much through the games whenever we would battle other people, trainers, etc., it can do the same exact thing here on my detective team, where if I go to fight and battle the criminals in any way or something, Toxicroak can definitely be the Pokemon I can send out that can wipe out their team. Heck, it could probably wipe out the entire Team Rocket. That's how good Toxicroak is. My third choice seems like I'm copying Detective Pikachu a little bit, but honestly, I mean, it's a really good Pokemon. Like, why would you not want it? It is Luxray. Now, Luxray is going to serve multiple purposes on this team. For one, it has the ability to see through walls and objects. Who doesn't want a Pokemon that can see through walls and objects? I mean, that's just perfect and phenomenal. If it can do that, then I believe that if we were ever in like a really dark area where I couldn't see anything, I could probably put a lot of my trust into Luxray to be able to kind of get me through the dark. Also, with it being an electric type, I'm sure there's a possibility it can set off sparks to allow me to see in dark areas. Like if we were in a dark cave, for example, I'm sure it'll probably have something for me to do that. Granted, I believe if I were to have equipment, I probably would have like a flashlight, but again, let's say there's a scenario where I don't have a flashlight or anything, I'm sure Luxray, again, might have the ability to help with lighting up a room, or because it has such a keen eyesight that, again, it can see through walls and objects, that maybe it can just help me travel through the dark. But also, not only would I use Luxray's ability to see through walls and objects to see if there is an enemy or a criminal on the other side of something, or if something is hidden within like a container, for example, it would also be a good Pokemon to use to chase down the criminal should they try to run away in any form, right? So Luxray, again, I think would be perfect, and then it can continue to keep using its ability to see through walls and objects just as a possibility that a criminal, while trying to escape and run away, decides to hide into something, right? So I think that'd be phenomenal to have Luxray on the team to see things and chase down the criminal. Coming in at number 4, we have Corviknight. Now, I'm going to be honest, Corviknight, amazing Pokemon. I love Corviknight. I mean, it's literally used on my Scarlet and Violet team and was a Pokemon that I used in Sword and Shield for quite a while. Then eventually I changed the team up again. But Corviknight is, in my opinion, a perfect Pokemon that can be used for travel. I think my main source of travel would be through flying, and that would be with Corviknight. Corviknight can also cause fear, according to its Pokedex, cause fear in its foes. So should I be chasing a criminal down or anything like that, similar to Batman, I'm going to try to cause fear, right? That was kind of Batman's thing for the most part, is kind of sparking a fear of crime, right? Because you're going to have fear that Batman's around. That's what I'm going to be doing, but with my Corviknight. Everybody's going to be scared of seeing a Corviknight, and then they're probably not going to want to do crime. But Corviknight would be perfect for flying around, transportation-wise, and then also probably even taking down the enemies, because Corviknight can pair up with somebody like Luxray, where Luxray can take the ground and Corviknight can take to the sky. There's also a possibility that even a criminal might have a Pokemon that can fly. And personally, I think Corviknight would just be kind of perfect for that. You know, it'll have the ability to fly around. It can also swoop down and grab the criminal or anything like that, right? It's also been very popular and used in the Galar region as like a taxi service, right? The Corviknights. So it has the capability to do all of that. If there was ever a situation as well where we need to interrogate the criminal, I believe that Corviknight, because it can cause fear in its foes, would also be pretty good for interrogating if we needed to do a good cop, a bad cop scenario. And I believe since Pokemon can kind of talk to each other in a way, I mean, Corviknight can still be bad cop in Pokemon form, right? So I think that'd be pretty phenomenal to have, in my opinion. And then, of course, if there were to be a gimmick used, I think I would use it on Corviknight with its G-Max form. In its G-Max form, according to its Pokedex entry, it can cause like hurricanes with the flap of its wings. Of course, it would be used more so in extreme situations. But if it ever got to that, I would definitely use a G-Max form. For example, what if a criminal organization took down like a town or something, or if they set up some crazy thing in a town or an area, we're trying to take it down or break in or something. I don't know why, I just feel like Corviknight in its G-Max form causing a hurricane can do a lot of damage and could probably help out with maybe just pushing everything out of the way, right? Like if there were, I don't know, crazy idea, a tank or something, G-Max Corviknight more than likely could probably just pick that tank up with its, you know, hurricane speed wings and push it out of the way. I don't know. That's kind of an extreme there, but again, I think just G-Max Corviknight would be kind of perfect. If the extreme were to go to the extreme, I would have like a backup plan there that could kind of more or less do like a reset. I mean, it could potentially do more harm than good, but again, it's only going to be used in a way that if only the extreme comes to the extreme. The next Pokemon on here, I believe I've spoken about in the past before if I were to do this team, and that is Mightyena. Mightyena is just a phenomenal Pokemon. If you look based off of its Pokedex entries, you'll see that it says that it's perfect at chasing down its prey in packs, right? Like that's always been like a big thing for it for some reason. And then, of course, another Pokedex entry, it says that it will always obey the command of the leader. So, with that said, you can kind of see that Mightyena would be a phenomenal Pokemon to have for chasing down the enemy in a group. So in this case with my team, it would be partnered with Luxray and Corviknight, potentially Grimer, to figure out a way to take down the the criminal in this case, which I think is a perfect, phenomenal idea. And there's always that possibility that like, what if in this little pack of ours, I'm not in there. Let's say I got kidnapped or something and my Pokemon need to help find me. I think that Mightyena would be such a perfect Pokemon to kind of help keep everything together, if you will. It just seems like it would be a perfect team player because of the fact that it says in its entries so many times that it's really good at chasing down enemies or its prey in a pack. So I believe that if it's not in a pack, it probably won't do as good. So Mightyena, I'm sure as its own would be phenomenal, but in a team, it would be even better. The final Pokemon I'm choosing, I think it's going to be a surprise to a lot of you guys, and that is Slurpuff. I'm going to go with the shiny form because I think shiny looks better. But I'm going to go with Slurpuff on this one. Slurpuff, if you look at its Pokedex entry, it says it has a keen sense of smell that is 100 million times stronger than a human. It even has the ability to detect even the faintest smell. And so with that said, of course, I would love to have Slurpuff on the team to be able to help with finding out clues on a crime scene. Maybe if a criminal is hiding or not that far, it would more than likely pick up its scent, right? Also, there's like missing persons case, right? So if somebody has gone missing, and just similar to like a canine in real life, you would give it a scent and it would help kind of chase it down. That's basically what Slurpuff would do. Now, I'm not sure, I mean, kind of just going based off the stats that I've seen, Slurpuff and Mightyena kind of have similar speed, but Slurpuff has like tiny little legs, so I don't know how it would run that fast. So if Slurpuff can run pretty fast, then Slurpuff can run pretty fast and we'll be fine. But if it turns out that Slurpuff really isn't that fast as it says it is based off of Pokemon stats, because again, I never really seen Slurpuff moving at all, or at least not like that. So if it is, turns out Slurpuff isn't as fast as it seems, it's just simply, hey, Pokemon stats are high or whatever, then I would partner up Slurpuff with Mightyena. I think that would be a perfect pairing for a couple reasons. For one, again, the whole speed thing, you can pair up Slurpuff with Mightyena and then they can just go to the scent much faster. I just feel like it'd be a better pairing. Battle-wise, I think would be good because you would have a fairy and a dark type kind of working together with that, right? And then that would be kind of it. I mean, again, it leans more on Mightyena on that side of things to just be more the perfect partner Pokemon for the team to help work as a team. And then Slurpuff, again, can just really focus on using its sense of smell to pick up any clues or whatever the heck it may be. That was my detective team. Do you guys think that this is actually a pretty good team? I'm looking back at it and I still think this is a pretty good team. But with that said, I want to know, what would your team be? If you were a detective agency and you had 6 Pokemon, what Pokemon would you pick and why? Again, we're going more towards the LA Noire style of crime and such, so focus more on that. If you want to do it more Detective Pikachu style, that is completely fine, go ahead. But again, it's more LA Noire style. Also, and this is maybe like a bonus challenge for you guys, you can try to figure it out however way you want, but if you were to be partnered up with maybe another person, a friend, whoever it may be, if you guys were both a detective working together, what 6 Pokemon would you guys choose? You guys can do either 6 each, right, where you both have 6 Pokemon, or you guys can meet in the middle and each of you do 3 Pokemon, and then come together as sort of like one team to figure out, you know, how are we going to solve the case with just a total of 6 Pokemon. So again, your choice. Do you want a total of 12, 6 each, or a total of 6 where you both get 3? Let me know. Maybe in the future you guys will want to see perhaps what my team will be if I were to be partnered up with some of you guys. Perhaps Nojo, maybe we're with Grin, perhaps I'm partnered up with Sebe. You never know. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments down below because I will be checking that out. And with that said, everybody, please, as always, stay kind, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day, everyone.